Everyone dreams of success. They dream of the money, the fame, the corner office, the dream house. They dream of the day when they can finally say, "I made it. I made it." I reached the top of the mountain I'd been climbing since I was 22 years old. I had the awards. I had the wealth. I had everything I ever told myself would make me happy. So why? Why did it feel like I was standing on that mountain? Completely alone? It didn't start this way. When I began this journey, I had people around me, friends who believed in me, family who supported me, a partner who loved me. But success demands sacrifice. At least, that's what I told myself. Just one more year of grinding, I'd say. Then I'll have time for them. Just this one project, I'd promise. Then I'll call Mom back. One late night turned into 100. One missed dinner turned into 1,000. One canceled plan turned into a lifetime of "I'm sorry, I can't make it." And slowly, quietly, without me even noticing, the people who once filled my world stopped calling, stopped waiting, stopped believing that I would ever show up. The day I achieved my biggest dream should have been the best day of my life. I remember standing on stage, holding that award, lights flashing, people clapping. I looked out into the crowd searching for one familiar face. One person who knew me before the success. One person who would hug me and say, "I'm proud of you," not because of the award, but because of who I was. But there was no one. I walked off that stage, got into my car, and drove home to an empty house. I sat in the darkness, and I realized something that shattered me. I had become so focused on reaching the top that I forgot to bring anyone with me. That night, I scrolled through my phone. Hundreds of contacts. Business partners, clients, people who needed something from me. But who could I call at 2 a.m. just to talk? Who would answer? I found an old photo from 10 years ago. A birthday party. Friends laughing, cake everywhere. People who loved me just for being me. I couldn't even remember some of their names anymore. I had traded real connections for handshakes. I had traded love for likes and comments. I had traded moments for milestones. And now I was sitting in my beautiful empty house, the most successful failure I had ever known. The next morning, I made a decision. I canceled my meetings for the week. My assistant thought I was sick. I told her I was, just not in the way she thought. I drove to my mother's house. It had been 2 years. 2 years. She opened the door and the look on her face. It wasn't anger. It was worse. It was hope. Like she was afraid to believe I was really there. We sat in her kitchen, the same kitchen where I grew up, and we talked for hours. Not about my work. About her garden. About my childhood. About nothing and everything. And for the first time in years, I felt my chest loosen. I felt something warm growing where the emptiness had been. I called my old friends. One by one. Some didn't answer. Some had moved on. But a few were willing to meet. I showed up without excuses. I listened. I apologized. I told them I had been lost and I was trying to find my way back. It wasn't easy. Trust doesn't rebuild overnight. But I kept showing up. I kept trying. I learned that success meant nothing if there was no one to share it with. I learned that you can have the whole world in your hands, but if your hands are empty of love, you have nothing at all. It's been 3 years since that night in my empty house. I still work. I still have goals. But now I block out Sundays. Sundays are for my mom. Sundays are for friends. Sundays are for remembering what matters. Last month, I had a small celebration at my own. Nothing fancy. Just some old friends, good food, laughter. As I looked around the room at the people who had given me another chance, I realized something. This was success. Not the award on my shelf. Not the money in my bank. This messy, imperfect, beautiful collection of people who loved me anyway. If you're watching this and you're deep in the grind, chasing your dreams, please hear me. Work hard. Achieve big. But don't forget to look up. Don't forget to call your mom. Don't forget to show up for your friends. Because one day you might reach the top and look around. And if you're lucky, you'll realize you were never alone at all. I was successful, but completely alone. And I almost stayed that way forever. Don't let that be your story. Build your empire, yes. But build your table big enough for everyone who loves you to have a seat. Because at the end of your life, when the lights go out and the awards stop mattering, the only thing you'll hold on to is the hands of the people who held on to you.